I'm going to try to get to the different part really quick here. Remember, I said comparing events to compound events is a little bit different. Because now what we're looking at is having two things happen at the same time. Basically, what we're looking at for the first one here, the Chiefs win and score more than 21 points. So now we're not counting all 17 games as part of our statistics, as part of our pool of, this is terrible. Excuse me. Sneeze. Okay, in this video, we're going to talk about the difference between events, which you just did, and compound. All right, we're going to talk about the difference between events and compound events in this video. We're going to explain the one difference that's going to make or break it for you. Make sure you're paying attention to this so you don't mess up this whole page. Hopefully you watched the last video and saw that it said to watch this one before you jump into this page. Otherwise, you probably had to restart. But what we're looking at is the statistics, the probability of two events happening. This is called a compound event. So what we're looking at, for example, this first one says the Chiefs win and score more than 21 points. So when we go back and look at our table, we no longer are counting all 17 games as something we care about. We are only caring about the games where they won. If we go back up to our statistics page, that means this is a loss, we don't count this one. This is a loss, we don't count this one. This is a loss, we don't count this one. Now their score is over here. The first number is your team's score. So we can see they scored 24 points. They scored more than the 21 points that the question was asking for. But they didn't win, so this event doesn't count. Instead, there are 14 possible games that we can look at, anything that's a win. And we can see they did it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Here they won, but they didn't score 21 points. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So when we come back down to our page of compound events, how many times did they do this? They won and scored more than 21 points 13 times out of, now this is where the difference comes into play. Our total is not the 17 games. Our total is only the first event. So in this case, it's score or it's win. We are only looking at games where they won, and there were 14 games where they won. Okay. So now our fraction isn't out of 17 total games, it's only out of 14 games because they only won 14 times. When we go to the next one, the Chiefs have more than 200 pass yards and lose. We're going to figure out how many games they had 200 pass yards in. So we come back up to this page. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 games. So in these 16 games, they had more than 200 pass yards. Now we're going to see how many times did they lose. Well, once, twice, 3 times. They had over 200 passing yards and lost. Over 200 passing yards, lost. Over 200 passing yards and lost. When we come back down here, we have to remember 2 things. 1, they lost 3 times. Nope, that's the wrong one. Down another page. They lost 3 times. Why is that so small? For our total amount of games, remember they weren't 17. There were 16 games where they had more than 200 passing yards. So when we do our decimals for these, on the first one, to turn 13/14 into a decimal, we'll go 13 divided by 14. And then you'll only give me 4 decimal places on this one. So my calculator says 0.92857. that would round up. So we've got 0.9286. Or 3/16. We'll divide 3 divided by 16 and get 0.1875. As a percentage, take that number, take your decimal, 0.9286, and multiply it by 100. Take 0.1875 and multiply it by 100. And that's it. Be very careful that you are keeping track of your total games being how many times the first event occurred, and your top number, your numerator, being the times both events occurred in the same game. Okay? The numerator is how many times both events occurred in the same game. The bottom number, the denominator, is how many times the first event occurred.